Hello, it's Mary the Psychic Shaman here, and today is Thursday. And if you are in the Facebook group, sometimes we do Tarot Thursday, sometimes we do Trinket Thursday. But today I really wanted to focus on what we use in our practices. So this is across the board, whether you're into Reiki, whether you're into more witchcraft, whether you're into shamanism. It's really, if you look at all the different modalities, they're all very similar. And really talking about, so I kind of went off of the Trinket Thursday idea and thinking about all of the tools that we use. And this is not even for people who don't even realize they're doing it, like lucky socks or, lucky rabbit's foot, that kind of thing. Or just even a piece of jewelry that is worn, because it makes you feel better, makes you feel more comfortable, more protected. So all of these things, now in like my mesa, there are Kuyas. Kuyas are used, and Symbolum are used. I have a more of a witchcraft type of box over there, and that has certain types of Symbolum, which are different than the Kuyas. Kuyas, this is from healing. So there's all kinds of different things when you look at. So if we break down what type of Symbolum or what type of objects that are used to facilitate the practices that are done, whether that's if I'm healing for a client or doing a reading for a client, or if I'm doing some journey work myself. So figured I would talk a little bit about that kind of stuff. So even on my wrists, so I have a bracelet that was my brother's that he wore while he was alive. This is, I don't know, right, 25, 30 years old, I don't know. But his birthday was just the other day, and I utilized this as a connection to connect in with his spirit, and that facilitated me being able to see him. So that is used as that, and I am going to take it off pretty quickly and put it back in its box. But there's also, if you look, we do this stuff all the time. I've even got a bracelet to help with easing anxieties. I've got this, I forget what they're called. One? No, not. I don't remember. But I purchased this from my teacher, and I have programmed it to be a protection, similar to my bracelet here that I utilize when I do healing sessions on people. I have it programmed so that I don't. Nothing comes in, so these are on my bracelet. They're like protectors for myself. So I'm not taking on what I shouldn't be, right? Just like people use kyanite or a lot of the darker stones. Smoky quartz is a good one as well. Hematite, that is hematite, that bracelet. Just using it as protection. Even my necklace here that I've had, I wear specifically for, well, I've been wearing it a lot lately. It's more of a connecting in. So there's all kinds of things that we use, in daily life that we can use, things that we can use in our practice. So I'll show you, open up my mesa. There is a video too that I have posted before about my Kuyas, specifically about the shaman's mesa. But my Kuyas, when you're talking about a mesa here, these are for healing. These I utilize in my healing practice, whether I'm doing it for a client or myself. And each one of these stones has specific properties. Every single one I have went through healing myself to charge them, so to speak, so that they can be used for other people. And it's really interesting how this works. I have 13 of them. I only use 12 though. Is that it also showcases when someone chooses one of these Kuyas for a healing, it showcases what they're needing, which is kind of cool too. This is my Mookie stone, which has a specific use as well. So, my little lion. So there are all kinds of things that can be done here, of course. Ways to connect in. You can utilize, if you know what type of healing you need, you can pull a specific stone out of here. Emotional healing water, of course, you're going to have blue. That's pretty easy to see there. And there's, I even have stones for helping to pull out self-negative beliefs and when you lie to yourself. So imagine that. A lot of shadow work stuff with that one. So those are for my mesa. So some of these are called Kuyas. Same thing as Symbolum, basically. Let me grab over here and I will show you some of the things that I use. So this is my box. This is very similar to a Reiki box, but it is more for connecting in with deities and doing different type of work. I do a lot of my moon work here too. And I have this, which I utilize for shape-shifting. If I'm doing any shape-shifting type of journey work, then I will utilize this. I also have some raccoon bones, so you can connect in with the animal that while they were alive, while this is part of them, you can connect in with that energy, and you can actually go and be a deer, and it's pretty cool. And I have other bones, like I said in here. I actually have a lucky rabbit's foot, a real one, from when I was growing up in Alaska. So, and I've somehow kept on to that for many, many years. But there are just different things. I have specific earrings that I use ceremonially. These have been charged specifically. And I even have an acorn. I mean, there's so many different things. A lot of times it'll come in, in a message from spirit to utilize this, or take that and use it for this type of work, regression work, whether you've got soul retrieval work, you have shadow work, and just all kinds of things, transformational things. This is a pretty big symbol for me. This is actually the stone that my brother gave to me when I was like 16, 17, something like that. So it's a little older, but this is ceremoniously used now, along with some other things. I've had like this acorn, I knew when I found it, I knew that this was part of it. And like I said, I've got some other bones and things. I have realized that and you can put little notes in here. The one thing with, especially like a Reiki box, I think they train you with the Reiki, that when you create your Reiki box, that you can actually put, and the same with Shaman's Mesa, is that you can put things in there to kind of charge, to create, to bring these things to you, like a coin, buffalo head coin, can help to bring prosperity. You can put your wishes in there. If you have a prayer, you can fold it up and put it in your box or your mesa. If you're working on something specifically, which is what this is, I need to get back to this, then that can go in as well. So there's all kinds of things you can do. The thing that I suggest, if you are going to create a box, a spiritual box that you are going to put your items in that you utilize for your spiritual progression, your spiritual healing, then charge them. You can do some beautiful things with the moon. You can draw down the moon. You can work with your spiritual allies and ask them to facilitate, say you want to charge, a certain stone or symbolum to utilize it for, say, shape-shifting. Then you pull in that energy and you are, you're just imagining pulling it in, and you're pushing that energy with the help of your allies into that object, and that charges the object, and that object then it can be used for that. Now, I'm not saying you can't use it for other things, you can, but it will be the strongest once it's charged for whatever it has been charged for. If you have any questions on that, how to do it, if you have a specific, want. I mean, I even have a writing stone for to help me get back into more creative writing. And I started out with doing blog work and different articles and stuff. And that was something that Spirit had told me, okay, utilize this Kuya first. Get started. Before you can use it on anyone else, you need to use it on yourself. And that was part of my healing process and my coming, back to who I am, remembering who I am. So there is a lot of that goes into all this. And nature is huge. I've had things just fall in front of me walking in the woods, or something, just gets thrown out like, this is for you. You know, when you have something like that, whether you could be walking in the parking lot of Lowe's or wherever, and come across something, an object, and it doesn't have to be natural, it can be man-made too, and you just know you have to have it, then sit with that. You know, go home or go out in nature, sit with it and figure out, what is this trying to teach me? How is this going to be my ally in my spiritual work? You know, some things, if you are a healer yourself and you like assisting other people, then maybe it's for both of you. You know, I've got, like I said, I've got stone my mesa with my Kuyas. These are for not just myself, but these are for healing my clients. I use these during sessions, healing sessions, whether they're in person or long distance. But they can be used for so much more. I have sat with them around me, you know, to meditate, to just connect, to create those Seiki lines, those energy lines. You can use them to connect in, like I used a stone that I found on the property to connect in with two different trees, the grandmother and grandfather tree. And that created like a triangle. It created this energy vortex almost. And it's all in that stone. And I was actually going to take that stone and put it up in my spiritual room here. And I was told, you know, from my guides very strongly that no, that stone is to go at the hearth of your home, which is at our fireplace. And what I have noticed, which is wonderful, is if I am feeling disconnected, discombobulated, just weird, you know, I can go and put my hand on it and I feel so much better. So there are things that can be used for family. And, you know, take rose quartz. Rose quartz is beautiful to have in family gathering areas. You know, you can definitely utilize crystals for their special different powers that they have. You know, like I said, I have different bracelets, different rings, different things that I put. Selenite I use. You know, you can use all kinds of things. Statues at the corners of your property to protectors. You know, those can be, you can place them, but it makes it a lot stronger if you actually charge them. Do a ritual. You know, doing anything ritualistically brings in so much more power, and especially when you're asking for help. Whether you have already connected, if you know, even if you can't, if you haven't been able to open those communication lines between you and your guides, at least you don't think you can, so, or you don't trust yourself enough, even if that's the case, call them in. Call in your ancestors, call in your guides, call in your helpers, call in your favorite animal, even if you don't know what your power animal is. Call them in. Call in the archetypes and do your ritual. And it doesn't matter how weird you feel or you think you're messing it up, you're not. It's all, you know, yes, I know it's overused, intention, but the energy that you're putting in, Spirit knows, the universe knows what you're trying to do, and they will facilitate and help you. And so that's what I think. I think that you should always look out for those items that you can use, you know, for your own healing and others, and just to make your life a little easier. And there's nothing wrong with it, right? I think it's a great thing. So I'm trying to let me look at my notes quick. Just make sure I took just very little notes. Symbolum, yeah, Reiki box and witchy box, yes. So, and like I said, there's all kinds of different words. These are Kuyas, my stones for my mesa. Symbolum are what I've heard used for the witchy type box. I'm not sure with the Reiki box, but these can also be done, what's the right word? Spiritually? These can be done, you don't have to. So you can start creating this, you know, creating your box without having the box yet. You know, go do your journey, you know, go and do your meditation, figure out what, you know, what's calling to you. Maybe that'll give you a little advice on going out into nature and walking and finding something. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be a shoebox, decorated. You know, it doesn't matter. It can just be an open Avalon shell that you put things in. I have things everywhere. I have things on my nightstand. I have things all over the house. And it makes things just more connected. And that's, I think, what we want, is to remember that we are all connected. And that, you know, it doesn't matter, like I said, the modality, it's all pretty much ends up being the same basic knowledge, basic steps of being able to do the work. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, whether here on YouTube, Facebook, email me, website. I will definitely respond. So enjoy, and we will talk soon.